So I'd like to welcome two rap artists that I have in here, young Fucious and Amir'acle. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, go ahead and talk a little bit. I want to go and make sure we got the mics queued up here. Introduce yourself there, young Fucious.
I'm young Fucious from Chicago, and also have some ties to Fort Wayne, and it's good to be here.
And how about you, Amir?
Yeah, my name is Amr Hussein. I'm actually from Fort Wayne. Lived in Indiana my whole life, but I have a lot of family out in Chicago, and so I made the trip over here.
And who doesn't love Chicago, man?
Well, and it's a wonderful location to be at. Naturally, we have great resources, but of course, I like the community that you two are from in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area. I've talked about how much I like the attitude of the Indiana people there. You got to love it with their attitude towards that Fourth Amendment, where nobody's coming into their home illegally, including law enforcement. You make an illegal entry, law enforcement, they have the right to use deadly force to make you leave their home. That's not a bad attitude at all. Definitely keeps your house being your castle.
Yeah, the deadly force would be my arm, whenever they come in.
Strong guy, yeah.
Your arm with that little metallic thing attached to it that's got primer and lead. But yeah, very good. Welcome to the studio today.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I liked my interview I had with young Fucious earlier when we talked about the rap music scene, because very often most rap music is full of curse words. It's pushed. It's frankly pushed by corporations. Is what I look at it to go and poison the minds of our youth. But you guys are using rap for a different means. You want to tell us a bit about it?
Well, pretty much what we tried to do from the beginning when we met about a year ago was just do something completely different, completely original, and it had to be from the soul. And I think we captured that in some of our newer tracks we came out with. And that's really what we're all about. In fact, our name is Prolific Sanctum, which means creative free space, and that's what we're trying to focus on when we make these tracks.
And I'd like to add to that. Basically, I mean, we're trying to be very creative, but yet all of our songs are actually coming from real life experience as well.
Exactly.
And you'll see that whenever people make music and they actually have like real life and they actually put their heart with it, you can feel it in there. And so I think that's what really gets people going on it.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't want to be like the other rap artists where it's just talking about absolutely nothing. We'd rather relate to a few people who love it than everyone who just likes it.
And I mean, they like to say they're talking about real life, but as I like to tell some people, I mean, in real life, we go into the washroom and shut the door and take a dump, but we don't need to go and rap about that either. But you guys talk about some good stuff. Do you want me to go and play some music right here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
First song is called Destiny.
All right, folks, let's sample a little bit of their music, and we'll go and pick the brains of the artists here. Your WZRD.
This life full of mystery. Look at the world, tell me what you see. I see doubt in your eyes again. Got the same question on your mind again. Stress gone, this time pretend. Always put you first till my time will end. Answers to the world, we'll find it then. Bring back the spark, lightning. Tell me why you always what I'm thinking about wherever I go. I know we've been spacing lately, but just hear me out. I need you to know. You don't have to ask me what this world's about, 'cause I'm looking at you. I know sometime that there is doubt, but this is the time to just let it go. Just let it go. Take a deep breath, baby, gon' be fine. I know this world is cold, but forever you mine. And if we take a look, love ain't hard to find. And if we follow the hook, you belong my mind. Silver sand sheets, screaming screaming your name. Sorry's held inside, screaming for blame. This room ain't the same without you up inside. This world has changed without your existence. There is something you do to me when you are around. And if there's nothing for you to see, it's bringing me down. It's bringing me down. Tell me why you always what I'm thinking about wherever I go. I know we've been spacing lately, but just hear me out. I need you to know. You don't have to ask me what this world's about, 'cause I'm looking at you. I know sometime that there is doubt, but this is the time to just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go, let it go. This world is cold, but you know that I'll be there. You know that I'll be there, be there. And if you should fail, you know that I'll catch you. You don't have to fall. Look in my eyes and see. Look in my eyes and see. Look in my eyes and see the love. Tell me why you always what I'm thinking about wherever I go. I know we've been spacing lately, but just hear me out. I need you to know. You don't have to ask me what this world's about, 'cause I'm looking at you. I know sometime that there is doubt, but this is the time to just let it go. Just let it go. I guess dreams really do come true. Sometimes we just gotta remember that.
You're listening to the young Fucious and
Amir'acle, Prolific Sanctum.
Prolific Sanctum. And what was the title of that track, gentlemen?
Destiny.
Destiny. So let's talk a bit about Destiny.
All right, Amir.
You can go ahead, because that's the one that you wrote from the heart.
True, yeah. We made the beat. Obviously, everything you hear here is all original. And one thing I learned in music is that I have so much more respect for artists now, for how hard of work they put into it. It's crazy. But Destiny is just about relationships get tough, but you can't just back down. You got to understand that if you want something great, you have to put in something great too. So that was the main focus on that song.
Well, tell me, what was the inspiration for you penning this song?
Penning, like making it?
Yeah. Penning it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Just to believe in destiny, you have to believe in something higher than yourself. And if you do that, then you can get something higher than yourself out of it.
Now, you guys have also done some interesting stuff in addition to the rapping music and appealing to your age group audience. I was quite impressed that you actually have gone out and you've done some stuff to promote the medical profession. Tell us about that?
I forgot about that. It was just a song we did for a few colleges around the Fort Wayne area. It's called IPE, I believe.
What is IPE?
Interprofessional Education. It was a nice side project. We got an offer to do it for some schools, and so we made the song.
Well, tell me a bit about a little bit more, because IPE, interprofessional education. What is it promoting? I happen to know the story, but I need you to go and tell me.
It has to do with the health profession, just medical stuff, physician assistants, doctors, and everyone, nurses, just working together.
Right, so it's about bringing the medical community together into a more cooperative mode, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's little fiefdoms that get built up, and they build their walls, and they tend to not communicate, and it kind of is a barrier to good patient care, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so what you guys were looking was to go and break down those walls in patient care by reaching out to people that were in the college age and attracting them to it and telling them the importance of communication and sharing, and despite the different professions, that how important it is to work together. And I have to say, for me, that was another interesting part of why I've invited you guys in here to the WZRD to share you with my listening audience.
Exactly, yeah. When people work together, amazing things can happen. So I think that's one thing that's lost on society nowadays, is we're so used to texting and emailing and Facebook and everything that we don't actually think, hey, let's have a real conversation.
Yeah, imagine that.
We can actually, if we move our mouths, we can talk sometimes.
Also, to add to like the IPE song, it not only just went to like all the health industry. Really, it was made for it's promoting that what was it called? It was like some type of education forum, and so we all watched Bill Nye when we were younger, right? and we see all those science channels, and they always have that corny music in the background. It's like, really, they made that? And so we wanted to do something where we took something that could be very, very corny, but also make it appealing.
Right.
And
that was a fine line.
And so that was a big challenge to get into, is like writing lyrics to something that, medical terminology. I mean,
and
how many people do that?
We're not medical. We don't know the words. We kind of had to learn them through the song. But exactly like he was saying, I mean, yeah.
Now, obviously, you have to have some networking and some communication going too, and the importance of networking that you pick up here in college. You never want to go in. Close the door or burn any bridges to that, because these things, whether it's with faculty and things like that, and that's in essence the way that you did this, was through a faculty member, wasn't it?
Right, yeah. And it was for mainly college, just to teach the unity skill, something that I think is lacking nowadays.
And we tend to discount this, and every university, they're nothing without its faculty that we have here.
Right.
The universities go to great pains to go and select great faculty members to go and bring them in. And it isn't just a matter of coming here, parking our butt in a chair, polishing the chair for a few months with our hind end, and then we walk out with that ticket punched towards our diploma.
Well, then I did that wrong.
But developing relationships with our professors that we have here should go beyond that. Not only do the professors have relationships with us in these classes, but with people in other classes and other courses that they teach that are related to it. And this network can be put together also for furthering your ability to go and reach out. Like, let's say, for example, you're looking for somebody to help you do some sort of research down this field. These people are great resources. Or, heck, even if you're looking for a job somewhere,
definitely.
Don't ever forget about the importance of this networking that you've started out with here at the at your university level. And also even believe it or not, our listening audience here has got many different connections, and you never underestimate the things that the power that these people can bring to you too.
Yeah, we just think if we can touch one person in his life and make it for the better, we've done our job. So Did
you want to move on to your next song that
let's
you
do
have
that.
here? Now, what's the title of this song that we
It's
got?
called Heart Script.
Tell me about Heart Script.
Well, Heart Script is actually, ironically, it was written about 3 years ago, but we never had an instrumental for it. And then once that came about, we actually made the track, got it out, And it was about a past crush and how after a couple years I could still have a passion for her. So.
No, I was going to say the first person you get a crush on, really,
not Britney Spears.
They really last a long time, you know. I mean, even to this day, you know, the first young lady I had a crush on, I mean, I still got a personal affinity for that person, despite that. Since that point, you know, I've married the love of my life, and you know, we're each other, but you still got that special place in your heart for your first crush. It really is.
Exactly. It's you still got that bond, and it's a beautiful thing.
Be careful what you say. Your girlfriend's out there.
I know.
She's listening up.
No, but
it's all right. The last song's for her, so she's okay.
To deny our humanity is to deny our own existence. It is something that it's part of the way that, you know, as I like to say, our Creator, God Almighty, puts us together, and that's just one of those little pieces that's in us. And as long as we understand that that's with us, we shouldn't pretend it doesn't exist.
Right. No, exactly. Yeah, we bury our emotions so much, and
yeah, we do. We tend to.
And the good ones. That's the worst, is when we bury the good emotions.
Well, let's go and enjoy a little bit of the track here with our listening audience.
All right.
I originally wrote the song about something completely different, but it wasn't worth it. Someday I'll be fine, it just ain't today. Still hold your thought and we years away. Vision so vivid like Blu-ray pictures. I'll sparkle, reminiscent of your figure. From kissing on the scene to kissing on a dream. Thought this would be over, but long lives a queen. Replay us in my mind, taking back the time. Here scene one, ready to rewind. You said hi, then we started to talk. Conversating back and forth as we would walk. Know we had a task, but my focus was you. You had me in a trance and the moment just flew. You hinted at the future as I forgot my past. Didn't matter, I was never going back. Reflections of your beauty too enchanted to believe. Ponder fate's direction, next is what it brings. I wonder while you were weak, a moment just froze in time. I glance at all these pictures, finding that all over Scene 2, a few years past. Saw you in the hall of my high school class. You were walking by while I was evoking. Day after, yo, a friend approached me. Hey Mike, here's a girl for you. Here's a number, you know what to do. I called that night as the plan ensued. Shortly after, we was holding hands. Asked you out when we was late to class. Said yes, smiled and delivered a glance. I replied with the kiss and the task. My goal was to hold you close. My goal was to know you most. My goal was to show you the diamond inside. Cause girl, you filled with beauty that the world shouldn't hide. Beauty that the world shouldn't hide. I wonder while you were weak, a moment just froze in time. I glance at all these pictures, finding that all over sides. Scene 3, in the hall trading kisses. I was your man and you were my missus. Many great nights, but one stands unequal. At the Dark Knight, the Batman sequel, we were holding hands and feeling this vibe. You sent me a text when I was next to your side. X-rayed each letter down the structure inside. Words so poetic, almost equal to your Percatude. Mood determined, we evade before conclude. Emotions high back to my place. Love, passion, embrace, sensation of your taste. From then on, the bond will never go to waste. Never lost the love, you can see it in my face. College come around, 4 hours worth of space. Recollection, wish I judged, wouldn't be the case. Decisions on the whim, rarely hold embrace. So I sit here with this pen, hoping to retrace each and every thought that will never be replaced. Damn, all of these pictures, damn, all of these visions. Know this was the way it was supposed to be, but fate don't equate what's most to me. How is it you're so close to me, when all that remains is the ghost of we? I wonder while you were weak, a moment just froze in time. I glance at all these pictures, finding that all over sides.
ladies and gentlemen, that's Prolific Sanctum with our guest today, young Fucious and
Hello.
Amir'acle. Well, let's talk a little bit about Like You're Guessing.
All right, Like You're Guessing is the next song that's going to play. And do you want to take this one over?
Yeah, I also want to just quickly go back to that last song real quick, just because there's someone on there that I also want to make sure that we reach out, because actually the person on the chorus is actually one of my really, really close friends.
Yep.
And we never mentioned him, but his name is Humayun, and basically I known him for about 5-6 years, and he actually is out in Arizona, and so to get tracks out
wasn't easy.
and working at a state wise, I mean it was really hard going to work, he going to school, and then he'll record his stuff and then bring it. I mean it was a lot of time and effort to get that, because if there's something that we didn't like, we would have to send it back, tell him, hey, fix this up, bring it back. So,
even if it was one note, exactly.
But he did a great job.
So you're doing online collaboration to go in.
We had him. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Go ahead. I mean, this is fascinating. Tell me some more.
We had him in our home base studio. So basement. That's something we should say, is we're not mainstream. We don't go to the main studios. We do everything ourselves. The mixing, the mastering, the lyrics, the instrumentals, everything you hear is just us. That's it. And so we actually got him in the studio, our studio, the basement studio. We only had him for about an hour, but that's how it all started. We're like, hey, we think you'd be perfect for this course. Do you want to try? Sure. And it worked out well. It was once he left, it was a lot of back and forth sending information, but we got it done.
Wow. I know, I mean, there's a lot of things I always said that our technology is only limited by our imagination.
Exactly.
You guys have just gone and proved it to me. Wow.
That's good to hear, yeah.
And so that's the way you did Heart Script.
Right.
So you told him to redo it, and then he's there in Arizona.
Right
he
now.
re-records it and goes and sends it back to you.
Right.
How do you keep in the timing all right? I mean, you guys got like an online Metronome or something?
Well, basically, I mean, we'll send him the instrumental. I mean, we do the instrumentals at our house, and so then we'll just send him that. Luckily, I mean, the big pro was when he came to our house to record, he actually was visiting me, and we just kind of just did it on the fly. And so I showed him the instrumental, gave him the lyrics, and then he kind of did kind of like a first time course. But then after that, he went back, and then I sent him the instrumental. I'm like, hey, we need to work on this and this, but I mean, it turned out really, really good. I mean, especially being so far different times now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, going back to your question is to get it on time, we sent him the instrumental with that part blank, and so he would just record
Fill it in.
send the vocals, and then we'll just layer it at our studio.
And that was with like 40 times of like, hey, can you change this note? Can you make this one a little higher? And back and forth. But he did a good job. It was a pleasure working with him.
Yeah, for about a whole week, he actually sent 40 different mix downs of just that 15 to 20 second clip.
Right.
And so, I mean, the hardest part was really figuring out which one we wanted to use.
Right.
So
exactly.
It was a neat experience.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, that's absolutely fascinating. I've heard of bands getting together. They always thought they liked each other until they get into a studio. And they go in and actually do some work in the studio, and then all of a sudden discovering that, indeed, it's very hard for them to get along with each other.
Yeah,
I imagine that really does test your levels of patience on how you can deal with each other.
Well, bringing up the point, I'm going to give a quick shout out to my partner, Amir'acle. In the past year and a half or so since we met, I think we've only had one legit argument. And that was recently about one of the tracks you're going to hear, the last one. But no, we work great together. It was awesome. It was like a fate type thing, I think, meeting him. So it was really cool. It's awesome. It's awesome to work with him.
Wow. Okay, so we're ready to go move into Like You're Guessing, or did you want to cover something else before we start?
I don't know. We can go ahead. We'll go ahead and play that.
Okay,
song,
we'll play. We'll talk
about
it
afterwards.
after.
Okay,
Exactly.
This is Like You're Guessing from Prolific Sanctum.
Driving in my car, this cold rain keeps hitting it. Looking through the glass while my passenger is missing. Your arm touching mine, love that tradition. Gentle feel of all your kisses. Wishing my heart navigates to your position. Living in your arms is my life's ambition. Emotional embrace between the distance. Cures our depriving condition.
Like you guessing, got you on my mind, gotta stop stressing. Just let it all unwind, next lesson. Our time is rhyme, a lover contestant. Wish the distance was compressing, and I'll never forget this. Yeah girl, you're my blessing. So no matter how far we stretch and question, is this for real? No messing. I sit and stare as though my heart's been drinking it, feeling impaired. The thought of you, I see you winking in the glare. The sunlight, moonlight, backyard, beach house. All I wanna do is reach out. Nothing in this world I ever cared, but the separation has me in a tear. The elegant, intelligent, all of which just seem to be irrelevant. All I do is treasure it.
I hold you close, but it's all a dream. The sight of your picture brings reality. Tossing and turning up in my sleep. Funny how your presence life altering. Waiting on that day that you make me smile. Saving all this love, you can see that file. Every glance you take, give me altitude. These mountains high, but I climb for you.
Like you guessing, got you on my mind, gotta stop stressing. Just let it all unwind, next lesson. Our time is round, a lover contestant. Wish the distance was compressing, and I'll never forget this. Yeah girl, you're my blessing. So no matter how far we stretch and question, is this for real? No messing.
Since the first day we were spacing, had my mind and heart racing, but our love never takes a vacation. Like to think of it just like a pacing. So my heart sends for relations, desiring to be face to face and back in your graces. Plant my roots, endorse this placing. Put my arms around my flower just like her face is. But all we really needing is patience. Patience, 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 patience.
Yeah, we're good right now.
Well, you're listening to WCRD Chicago, and my guests are Prolific Sanctum, and we have two of them, and then they have a remote member that's actually in Arizona, and they did online collaboration to go and actually produce this, and we just listened to Like You're Guessing. And again, what's your partner's name there?
His name is Humayan, and he's out in Arizona.
Wow. It just fascinates me. Well, we're also going into the next one, and in fact, this is what first brought us together, and where I first caught interest in you is from this work, because you guys did a memorial type of album that you released at school.
Yeah. It was for one of our students, great girl, Vibri Walker. She just passed away actually a little over a year ago. And I also wanted to shout out to her mom, Mama Lynn. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the support. And we appreciate the opportunity you gave us. But yeah, this song is called Like You're Guessing. And I'm going to let Amir talk about it a little bit.
Basically, this was kind of like our first song that we actually, when we first collabed about a year and a half ago.
Right.
I made the instrumental. That was actually just my thing. I started doing instrumentals ever since I was in middle school. And so it was just a passion of mine, just kind of started randomly. And then all of a sudden, we met from basketball and mutual friends, and then we started collabing. And it's like, hey, like I'm into writing lyrics and rapping. Well, I'm into producing, and so we just kind of started from scratch, and really, we thought it was really, really awesome, our songs about 2 years ago. But now when we hear it, it's like, from where we are now, I'm really proud of where we've gone with it.
So much improvement.
So, well, basically, I had this instrumental already lined up. A lot of people liked it. It was pretty clean cut. And so then he began writing to it. And this is actually one of the few songs that I'm actually in as well. And I actually wrote my own lyrics on my chorus. Well, he wrote the chorus, but on my verse side, which was on the second one. And I wanted to touch bases on that basically because it's talking about... If you actually listen to the words to it, it's about my relationship. Actually, it's long distance, and so it's like we guess, and it's like what's going to happen. And we've been together now for over 6 years, and so we dated about, I think it was 3 to 4 years in Fort Wayne, and then she actually went to school abroad to Africa and India, and she's actually right there right now. But
she could be listening to us too.
I just hope she's awake.
I mean, it's probably like 2:00 in the morning right now.
Oh, she's awake then.
But and basically, I mean, she's my fiance now. So
Okay.
Really, you can do whatever you want as long as you got the passion for it.
Right.
And really, this song kind of stuck to me, and that's why I'm talking about it a little bit more, just because that's kind of something that I've gone through, and actually I wrote, and it was a passion of mine to really talk about it. And so
something funny I wanted to add out is when we met, we didn't find out for quite a while, but we actually lived 7 houses down from each other.
Is that right? So you lived in the same neighborhood.
I was like,
you didn't even realize it.
Interesting. Yeah, this could work. Yeah. So
I was like, come on over. Where do you live? He's like, our
This
neighborhood.
road.
And I was like, wait, what street? And literally, I can see his house from our front door.
Yeah.
So
just barely, but you can see it because it bends.
That sounded creepy, but I don't watch it every day. But
I'm starting to wonder.
But really, you can. It really, really helped though, just because even if it was like 30 minutes away, that's huge.
Sure.
But the fact that when I drive home, I can literally pick him up from work
before.
and get him to my house, that's where mainly our studio is set up at my house, and so that really helped out because we could actually meet every day instead of saying, oh, let's just hit up the weekend. But then we also have our personal lives as well.
Right.
Sure. And plus, you can go and walk right home, couldn't you?
Right. I have all the time, but yeah.
Wow. So what's the next track number I should cue? I forgot to go to
number 1.
Yeah, it's
track 1 we're gonna cue.
And before we play this, I'm just going to say that this one's called Cinderella Girl. I recently just wrote this song for my girlfriend. And me and Amir'acle, we put in a ton of work on this. This is the one song where we just could not get along on one thing. The first time that happened in a year and a half or so. So,
Now, was it like artistic differences of opinion on how a particular part of it should open or close, or at what point you're going to go and put in a refrain or something?
Yeah. Basically, I feel stupid talking about this right now.
And I agree
because the listeners are probably gonna be like, really? That's their only problem right now? But it was the bass line.
Right.
Okay.
And it wasn't so much not like when it hit, but it was more about the pitch and also the decay on it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, or also decay is the how long it held. There's a sustain on it.
Which I'd like to add to that for all of those who are listening. Feel free to go to Prolific Sanctum, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and comment on if you like the bass or not, because I want to know if I was right.
All right. So this argument is not over with.
No, it'll never be over. Hey, I win. We got as far as we could, and I think we're at the ground where we're both like, okay. But if you guys don't like it or so, let me know.
Well, luckily, we kind of met middle grounds. Like half the song is something he made, half the song is what I made, and I think we're both happy about that. We got over it, and we just got. everything's not perfect.
Right.
Okay,
So,
so this one we should let the listeners.
Yes, and I'm
Okay,
actually
well, let's go
glad.
and cue this up.
Real
Yeah.
quick,
Okay.
I was gonna say I'm glad we got in an argument because it was just too long without one. Like we started to think we were robots for a while, so it was nice to know we had some human bones in our body.
Wow. Yeah, and I guess that can happen if you get just so consumed and then you totally forget that, yeah, you guys are human and you
Yeah.
need to eat, sleep, and have emotions with it, too.
Right. Oh yeah, they came out.
Wow. Okay, well, let's
Let's
go.
hear this.
Let's enjoy Cinderella Girl.
Sometimes I forget how much you mean to me. Seems to me that my mind doesn't come so easily. Seems to be because I bottle up all these emotions, and if it opened up, I would spill out with devotion. It is not that I don't love you, and it's not that I don't care. Just try to understand that my desire's always there. And if from time to time I hide it, your smile will make it show. Cause something about your grin illuminates deep down inside. I can feel it in my veins. You've always had my heart, even if I spent some time away. And if you can't forgive my soul, they'll always be my goal. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Sometimes you forget that you are beautiful. Do not let this cross your mind. I see your worth, it's off the mind. I see your soul, it shines in ways. Notes ago, they were displays. I hold them close up in a safe. Memories that I replay. And when I see you happy, I can't help but fall. And when I see them eyes, you make me want it out. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Light gleams your eyes and your heart shine through. Pretty hazel eyes, but you wish they blue. Why she do? Why she do? I don't really know, but I wish I knew. I don't really know, but I can't believe. Beauty from in and a sigh you breathe. Blessing from above that I receive. When we hold it close, I ain't trying to leave. Gotta be the best, so best stay together. Call you sugar pie, cause I know you splendor. And I never could imagine that you taste so sweet. And since we traded dials, can't help but make you smiles. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. They try to keep you out the ball, but slippers always shine. And since you put them on, they sparkle like your eyes. Cinderella girl, Cinderella. Cinderella girl, Cinderella.
All right, now that was Cinderella Girl with prolific Sanctum, and we're back here in the studio again with our guests, Amir'acle and Young Fucious.
Yep.
And you guys produced all this stuff, and you have your own studio. Tell me about your studio. I mean, you see what we got here at WZRD. Tell us about your stuff, because we like talking shop.
I know Amir'acle wants, he's got a lot he wants to talk about on this, so I'm just going to jump in real quick and say it all started out with just two young guys. We had the worst mic in the world. about the worst everything you can imagine. And we just started writing from like the computer. And now he's got how much is your studio, you think, valued about?
I mean, it's roughly around 7,000 to 10,000 now.
Wow.
After 3 years now. I mean, basically, when we first started, we only had a laptop.
Right.
I only had a laptop, and I did all the instrumentals on the laptop speakers. Now you can kind of tell now what kind of instrumentals you're going to make. You can't hear the low end.
Bass especially.
And so you crank that up, and then you put it in the car, or you hear it somewhere, and you're like, why is the bass all fuzzy? And I mean, you can't really hear anything. And then and our mic, our first mic that we ever just tested on, we just found it in the storage room. It was one of those that you clip on to your shirt.
Yeah.
And it was just more of a learning experience. And then, I mean, we kind of grew from there, because then I guess I can see myself as more of the visionary. I mean, we're both visionaries, but
yeah, I take offense to that.
no, I mean, you are a visionary, but I mean, I saw a lot of potential in what we had. I mean, a lot of people, if they heard it, they'll be like, you should quit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know what? I mean, that's not something that we do very well. We don't quit.
I like that about us.
And so we just kind of kept on learning about it, reading about it on forums. I slowly started upgrading it. You know, I'm starting from, I used Ableton first, and then and we used that little mic, and then I upgraded my mics, and now I'm using a little bit more sophisticated mic, and we're still trying to look into a little bit more upgrade. But
always trust me. Every time I talk to him, it's, hey, I got something new I'm looking at here.
And it's amazing how I mean, I'm glad I went this way, just because when you first start, you don't know what you want, or you don't know what everything does really.
No, not at all.
So you're like, what kind of mic should I buy? What kind of gear? What kind of mic preamp? What kind of software should I get? And basically, I mean, learning from the beginning, we started with it was like an Audio-Technica mic, and it was like an AT2020. I mean, it's the most basic mic that you can start up. It's very, very versatile and cheap. And then we saw the potential of what we're missing and
right.
What do we need exactly. So I upgraded up to an AKG now, and I'm using a C414, and now we also are running this through a mic preamp, and that made such a huge difference.
You can notice Cinderella Girl was the one we used it. The rest were no preamps, actually.
Yeah, and so exactly. You know, Cinderella Girl was actually recorded on all our new equipment that we actually upgraded to. The older ones, we kind of edited it as we went and learned new items, and so. I mean, like right now I have a laptop and a desktop, and then and I have a MIDI controller, which I use a Novation, and I don't know if anybody's heard of a Novation, but it's really, really nice because like it syncs everything from the software to your keyboard, and it's very, very nice. I mean, if you have any more questions, I could go on.
Well, actually,
I know.
What we really need you guys to do is to go and send some stuff to our Thursday Night Live coordinator. Okay. Do a live here in the studio with your partner there from Arizona next time he's in town.
Sure.
And we have some people here that are very talented that are running our production board here,
awesome.
And you can go and compare it, then see how you stand up to some pretty gifted students we have here that do our stuff.
I'm
too.
sure there's a lot of talented
but,
guys.
you know, it's one thing, you know, where you can just focus on your music instead of having to focus on the mixing and all the other parts that come with it.
I think that was the biggest shocker for us, at least for me. I don't. He maybe he knew this. He probably knows a lot more than you should. But was just that how much little details there are on music. You think like, oh, well, the guy wrote it's a 4-minute song. He wrote it in 4 minutes, and the beat was in 4 minutes, and it fell from the sky. But no, it's like oh, I think that snare drum sounds too loud. Well, I think it needs more reverb. Like just random stuff that would blow your mind to the average music fan. And it's amazing just how much intricate detail comes into all of this. And especially for two guys to do all of it, because we obviously don't have a whole team behind us like most artists that you've heard on the radio.
But, you know, it's very fun listening to you guys talk about it, because I had a guest here that was a punk rocker back in the 80s. I think she has, if I remember right, I think she had like 70-some songs that she's got credited to her name. And, of course, back in the 80s, when you were making this stuff with the available stuff at home, what it sounds like from then to now, that was one of our conversations. She's like, you know, that stuff, you know, what I can produce now at my home studio compared to what I had available back then, that is really a world of difference. So it kind of gives you appreciation for what even the folks before you had to deal with to go and produce the stuff they have. But, you know, it's really cool that you've gotten to this point.
Yeah, and I'm just glad my parents didn't have me like 20 years earlier.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's amazing what you can do, and especially with some research, and you get someone pushing you, hey, get a studio, hey, get a studio, hey, get a And I'm glad he did, because it's nice. It's great to have. As for any artist who's aspiring, I mean, there's some great deals out there for a few $100. Obviously, if you don't have the money, I'm not going to say go get it. But, you know, if you got a dream, follow it. Who knows where it leads you. Me and Amir'acle are really happy where we've gotten in the past couple of years or year and a half. But we know that we have just barely climbed the mountain. We have so much more to achieve. And honestly, we would appreciate any feedback you guys have, negative or positive. I mean, if you keep it in a classy tone, that'd be great, because we want to achieve more. We don't want to just stay at this level, and the only way to get better is to raw criticism. So
interesting.
Yeah, well, feel free to send it.
Now, young Fucious, in your case, you're an exercise science major. Is that what you're? So that's where you're. And then,
just graduated.
You're a finance major. Have you looked at this from a business and written a business plan for what you're doing with your music and approach this as a business?
And you know, I do. And I don't know if I always come out with like ideas, and I have so many different ideas. It's just, where do I want to start? Where do I want to go? And like you said, you know, create a business plan. That's the best way to organize it. But yeah, I mean, basically right now it's really about getting out our word, you know, and getting out our songs out there and seeing what people like, and, you know, getting to the closest people that we know, and also to some people that don't even know us. You know, if we get some type of feedback like what Fucious was talking about, you know, then we can kind of improve on what we're doing.
Exactly.
And then from here we can kind of take it to the next step.
I think you should be doing what you like doing and marketing it. I think you've already got the marketing going, because you managed to sell your idea all right to the medical industry. And you know, you've got that already, that you can go and use that as part of your resume for going in and marketing things to other people. And I think you guys have got the right thing going with it, because not only are you having fun, you're doing what you like to do, but you're also have come up with some creative marketing, and you're using your networking.
Yeah, we know we just barely touched the surface, but yeah, I mean, like we're open to any ideas, whether it's a jingle or anything else. But truth be told, in the end, we want to make it just something for the everybody type of person, you know.
Yeah, now, and I want to add, you know, kind of going back to the business kind of perspective of things. I mean, just creating music and writing lyrics and recording that, I mean, that's not the only thing that I really see us going in the future wise. I mean, what I also see is, you know, I love making the instrumentals, and I mean, he started actually very, very recently, but he progressed what I've learned in 8 years, you know, all compressed in 1 year. And I showed him some of my techniques that helped him, but then after that, this is all him, you know. But, you know, that's kind of another business perspective that I saw was, you know, there's a market for a lot of artists that want instrumentals. They got the lyrics, they got they got the talent. They just don't have the music, and so that might be an area that we might look into on top of actually promoting our songs. They'll see our songs, they'll be like, hey, I like that instrumental, and we'll actually have, and that's what I'm trying to learn into, is actually building up a website and actually sell our music, sell our instrumentals, and who knows where we can go with there. And like you said, a lot of things about technology and about marketing, you get into a lot of things that you can put in a resume wise. Well, ever since we started this really got me into learning how to actually build a website. So now I'm going into more like C++ and actually learning how to do, I believe it's Visual Basics, and creating a website, and at the same time, like you watch on MTV, you got music videos. So I'm actually also trying to learn how to do video, and so we're trying to tie this all together. But at the same time, we're learning everything around there, and again, that'll just help with our business plan as well.
Completely, like pretty much what he's saying is we have no limits, and I agree with that. It's funny, when I started, all I did was rap. That was it. I wrote and I recited. That was it. And then he's like, hey, why don't you try making a beat? And it's just amazing from that point how far we've diversed ourselves in every different little aspect of this business. And it's great. I enjoy it completely, and it's going to help us grow in the future.
I kind of like, when I think about the rap culture, while a lot of it is pretty foul-mouthed, a lot of it is pretty offensive, I do think that it's actually a good way to go and communicate ideas and communicate with a message. And I really think that it's actually that you guys are looking in the right direction with the medium, where you're actually in a spot where you're having fun, and you can also go and bring a useful thing to somebody else that's trying to, like you did with the medical community, with communicating amongst and breaking down barriers with it. Yeah,
and it honestly, when we think about it now, it was very random. Like we never would have expected that, but the opportunity arose, and we decided, why not? Open up a different basis and help some other people out in a way that we never would have thought possible.
And it really actually helped us at the same time as well, just because it gave us a project other than just us making our own project. So it actually had a deadline. It actually dealt with the business, and it really, it gave us a tone like, oh my gosh, this is reality. This is kicking in, and we have to actually produce this. Actually, other people are going to actually listen to this, and they're going to use this. And this is actually not just representing us, but it's representing IPE in the program itself.
Right.
So
the colleges.
Exactly, and the colleges. And so to make that instrumental, to make the lyrics sound good, not only are we representing them, but we have to make them look good as well.
Right.
So,
So now this is a really interesting fusion of your talents too, from all the different perspectives that you bring, your different, your college majors and how they've all nicely laid inside of each other. I'm going to guess your other partner in it too brought something to the table. Your partner that's long distance, one in Phoenix.
Oh, okay. I was like, which one?
I don't want to leave.
You got a secret partner I don't know about?
No. But because he collaborated with you on it too, and obviously he brought something to the table too. What's his major, if you don't mind? Because you say he's taking a final or something now, right?
Yeah. His I believe he's going into dentistry.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I'll probably get a text in about 20 minutes saying, "Hey, no, that's not what I'm doing." But I'm pretty sure that's where he was going into. If not, it was some type of healthcare industry.
And again, so you're looking to go and provide some sort of service for people that need some sort of medical attention. You're looking to go and keep them healthy.
Right.
You're looking to go and keep them out of financial hot water. And he's looking to go, and if they've gone and stepped over the edge, that he can go and fix their teeth for them.
Yeah, he's helping the wallets. I'm helping the body, and the other guy's helping the teeth. So. Maybe we'll start our own company for full mind body type thing.
Well, I do believe in this era, especially what's going on with the world financial wise, that this is no longer a culture where you're going to walk in and get a job and punch a time clock and punch out so many widgets an hour, and then you're going to go home with a paycheck. I really think that people looking at it and creating their own job and finding something that people are willing to pay you to do, that is going to be the new successful model of anybody that's going to be a survivor once the house of cards does come down, which it will be coming down soon. I mean, this is unsustainable what's going on right now.
Yeah. And I'm sure he feels the same. Amir'acle feels the same as me. Is we're blessed to have found this and just love it completely. And obviously, we both have other career interests from our degrees, and we work hard on them, and we do a good job. But this is a great passion. It's something we're blessed to have, honestly.
Well, anything now? I know, Amir, that we touched a little bit because I played the Creature Jekyll Island earlier, and the Cyprus situation with the banks, with people being locked out of their funds and what have you. This can happen to us. In fact, frankly, it's already happened here in Chicago, where the customers lost 100% of their funds that were in the Chicago Mercantile Exchange and totally destroyed the livestock and agriculture commodities market in the United States.
Yeah, and I mean, from what you said, I mean, this sounds like something that actually happened in U.S. history. I mean, there's a clear example of the Depression.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know, I mean, all their monies were gone. I mean, is this something that they're probably going to go into? And I mean, as far as I know, it's only just that bank. I mean, I don't know if there's any other examples out there that are running through the. I mean, I know the whole Europe is kind of in a deep pit. I mean, it sounds like something that we were in back in 2007, 2008. Yeah.
I think we created their problem.
So
made
it's
it
a chain
worse.
event.
Myself, I'm always in big favor of maybe smaller banks failing. The too big to fail one has made it. I mean, if J.P. Morgan Chase went down, we can't cover, with the entire FDIC, we can't even cover 1/5 of the bank deposits in it. This too big to fail stuff is gotten out of control, is the way I see it.
I think we need to take responsibility for our own actions, and that seems like it's a lost art. And just kind of manning up or womaning up or however you want to look at it. Like you gotta realize that in the end you're responsible for you, and if you take that responsibility, then the whole world is better for it, as long and including yourself.
And touching base on the bank wise, I mean, a lot of people are with banks, and I'm a firm believer about credit unions. I mean, that's something. I mean, I used to work for a credit union, so I'm all about
rehire you now.
I know they probably will, but yeah,
I don't see why they can't go and create a law and go and seize everything from the credit unions before too much longer too. I mean, it can be done with the stroke of a pen.
It's true.
I don't trust politicians that think that they are above the law and above our U.S. Constitution.
Yeah. Just one higher politician looking out for only himself will screw millions. It's a sad thought to think.
I'd like to say we got the best politicians money can buy, and when you take a look at the way at one time senators used to have to be appointed by a governor and confirmed by their state legislature to go and sit in Washington. Now it's whoever's got the biggest advertising campaign that can go and buy up all the media time in major market. You're pretty much a shoo-in for either retaining your seat or getting yourself a seat in Washington. And I would prefer them all telecommuting from home, because at least the lobbyists would have to buy 435 different seats to go buy congressmen instead of just one office in Washington to be able to buy all the congressmen. I don't see why they can't telecommute, and maybe once a year they symbolically go to Washington for the State of the Union, because really if you watch them on C-SPAN, they're just bloviating in front of an empty chamber right now. And anyway, those are just some of my observations from an older guy than you guys are. Well, we're so pleased that you came to join us here at WCRD, and we're quickly running out of time here. Anything else you'd like to add to the conversation here?
Yeah, from me and Young Fucious and Amir'acle of Prolific Sanctum, we'd like to say thanks a ton for having us out here. It was a blast. We look forward to doing it again. And just thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it. And any support you guys can give us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Prolific Sanctum, or Young Fucious. Check us out. Let us know what you think. Honest criticism is good. Just keep it classy. That's all we ask.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Anything else you'd like?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, he pretty much said everything I was about to say, so I got really not a good
Mind reader.
conclusion. But basically, I mean,
I'm also into psychic business. No, just kidding.
add that to our business plan.
You're psychic enough to know that my wizard relief is sitting there patiently waiting for us for me to give up my chair.
One more thing real quick. Shout out to Victor and Becky and my partner Amir'acle and W0D. Check them out on Facebook and like them.
All right, and thanks, gentlemen, for joining us in the studio at WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM.
I like to scream when I sing, feel it deep inside my larynx, compensate for lack of technique, but the passion does it. I like to dance when I play the bass, make a ridiculous face and piss a